Ever feel like some people just get a kick out of your misery? It's true. Sadism and envy are all too common, and they can seriously mess with your personal growth, whether it's at work, among friends, or even in your family. But guess what? Keeping your weak spots under wraps can actually turn into a superpower. Imagine yourself as a tree in a storm. The leaves might flutter, the branches might sway. The trunk stays strong and rooted. That's the kind of silent resilience we're talking about. In this video, we're diving into 20 Stoic principles from Epictetus, the famous philosopher you've probably heard of. Stick around, focus on the content, and let's turn life's chaos into calm. Ready? Let's go. Number 1. Listen more, talk less. Ever notice how we've got 2 ears but only 1 mouth? It's like nature's gentle reminder that we should be listening twice as much as we speak. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, saw deep meaning in this. He believed that by listening more, we absorb wisdom from the world around us. After all, if we're always talking, we're not learning anything new, right? Think about it. When was the last time you learned something by talking? Probably never. But when you listen, really listen, you gain insights that can transform your life. It's easy to get wrapped up in our own thoughts, convinced we've got it all figured out. The truth is, everyone has something valuable to teach us. So next time you're in a conversation, try holding back your own thoughts for just a little longer. Let others share their ideas, their stories. You might discover something that could change your perspective, or at the very least, you'll understand people better. It's like hitting pause on the ego and pressing play on learning. In a world that's constantly shouting for attention, becoming a good listener can be your secret superpower. It's a subtle way to show strength, wisdom, and humility. Plus, people love a good listener. It's rare these days. So, grab your invisible cape, listen up, and let the wisdom flow in. Number 2. Expect the worst, but hope for the best. We all have those moments where our mind goes into overdrive, imagining the worst-case scenario. Losing a job, breaking up, or even something as random as your favorite coffee shop closing. Epictetus says, good, imagine it all. Why? Because if you prepare for the worst, you won't be blindsided when life throws a curveball. It's like bringing an umbrella on a sunny day. Sure, you may not need it, but when those storm clouds roll in, you'll be grateful you were prepared. Stoicism isn't about being pessimistic or expecting doom and gloom. It's about being mentally ready to face challenges, knowing full well that life doesn't always play fair. This mindset doesn't mean you should walk around like Youre from Winnie the Pooh, waiting for disaster to strike. It just means when life decides to get tricky, you'll already have the playbook. And when things go right, well, that's just a bonus. It's a way to stay steady, no matter what happens, like a ship that sails smoothly whether the sea is calm or stormy. It's all about maintaining your balance when life tries to knock you off course. So, next time your mind starts spinning with what-ifs, embrace them with open arms. After all, better to be prepared and pleasantly surprised than unprepared and overwhelmed. Number 3. Failure is your best friend. Let's face it, nobody enjoys failing. It stings, it's embarrassing, and it's definitely not what we aim for. But guess what? Epictetus would argue that failure is one of the best things that can happen to you. In fact, he'd say it's essential. Why? Because every failure brings you closer to success. It's like getting lost on a hike. Each wrong turn teaches you which path not to take, making your next steps clearer. The problem is, we're often taught that failure is a sign of weakness. We try to avoid it like the plague. But in reality, failure is just part of the process of getting good at anything. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. You didn't just hop on and start pedaling perfectly. You wobbled, fell, and probably scraped a knee or two. But each fall taught you how to stay upright. Instead of running from failure, Stoics invite us to embrace it. When you mess up, don't beat yourself up. Take a step back and ask, what can I learn from this? Failure is just feedback in disguise, guiding you toward improvement. So next time something doesn't go your way, remember, every stumble is a step forward. If you're never failing, you're not trying hard enough. Get comfortable with discomfort, because it's where real growth happens. Be proud of your failures. They're the stepping stones to mastery. Embrace them, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Number 4. Fortune favors the unattached. Wealth. It's the dream, right? Fancy car, the big house, the freedom to do whatever you want. But Epictetus warns us about wealth, because as great as it seems, it comes with strings attached. Wealth can change people, and not always for the better. The more we have, the more we fear losing it. And the fear of losing something precious can be paralyzing. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of money and possessions, thinking they'll make us happy. But Stoicism teaches that real happiness doesn't come from what we own. It comes from within. If you base your happiness on external things, you're handing over control of your joy. And let's be honest, money can disappear as quickly as it came. Imagine building your entire life around wealth and status, only to lose it in an instant. What would you be left with? That's why Epictetus encourages us to value things that can't be taken away. Wisdom, character, and inner peace. When you're content with what you have, no amount of loss can shake you. This doesn't mean you shouldn't strive for success. It just means that success should be a byproduct of your values, not the goal itself. When you're no longer enslaved by the desire for more, you're free. Free to live your life without the constant fear of losing what you've gained. So, instead of chasing wealth, chase wisdom. It's the one thing you can never lose. Number 5. Don't pin all your hopes on one dream. Ever heard the phrase, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket"? Turns out, that's solid Stoic advice too. Epictetus believed that placing all your hopes on one goal is risky business. Sure, it's great to have a dream, but what happens if that dream doesn't come true? Putting all your energy into one single outcome can set you up for disappointment. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how hard you try, things don't always work out the way you plan. That's why Stoics recommend diversifying your dreams. Have multiple goals, and you'll increase your chances of success. One door closes, another will open. This approach not only reduces the sting of failure, but also keeps you motivated. Imagine if your one and only dream was to become a rock star, but after years of trying, it doesn't happen. You'd feel crushed, right? But what if, along the way, you also explored other passions, like songwriting or producing music? Suddenly, you've got multiple paths to success, and a setback in one area doesn't feel like the end of the world. So yes, dream big, but dream in multiple colors. Give yourself options, and you'll find that life has a funny way of working out in unexpected, often better ways. Number 6. Control what you can, let go of the rest. Life is full of things that we simply cannot control. Traffic jams, bad weather, or even what others think of us. Epictetus was big on focusing on what's within your power and letting go of everything else. Why waste energy stressing over things that are out of your hands? It's like being mad at the wind for blowing. You can't stop it, but you can adjust your sails. So what can you control? According to the Stoics, it's your thoughts, actions, and reactions. That's it. Everything else, other people's behavior, random life events, even the future, is beyond your control. Once you accept that, a huge weight is lifted off your shoulders. You stop trying to bend the world to your will and instead focus on steering yourself. Think of it like a game of cards. Can't control the hand you're dealt, but you can control how you play it. And sometimes, even with a bad hand, you can still win if you play smart. Stressing over things you can't change is like arguing with reality. It's exhausting and unproductive. So next time life throws you a curveball, ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, take a deep breath and let it go. Focus on what you can control. Your response, your mindset, your actions. That's where your real power lies. Number 7. Obstacle is the way. Ever had one of those days where everything goes wrong? You spill your coffee, miss the bus, and then your computer crashes right before a deadline. In moments like these, it's easy to feel defeated. But Stoicism flips the script. Instead of seeing obstacles as setbacks, they see them as opportunities. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Sounds strange, but think about it. Obstacles force us to adapt, to grow, and to find new solutions. They push us to become better versions of ourselves. When life throws a roadblock in your path, it's not a sign to quit. It's a challenge, an invitation to become stronger, more resilient, and more resourceful. This mindset shift turns every problem into a possibility. Got laid off? Maybe it's the push you need to pursue your real passion. Relationship ended? Perhaps it's a chance to focus on personal growth. By seeing obstacles as part of the journey, not detours, you take back control. You turn challenges into stepping stones. So the next time something seems like it's getting in your way, remember, it's not there to stop you. It's there to guide you toward a better path. Embrace the struggle. It's making you stronger. Number 8. Anger is temporary insanity. We've all had moments where anger takes over. Maybe someone cut you off in traffic, or a coworker threw you under the bus in a meeting. Suddenly you're seeing red, your heart is racing, and before you know it, you're saying things you regret. According to Epictetus, that's because anger is like temporary insanity. It clouds your judgment and leads you to act irrationally. The Stoics believed that anger never leads to anything good. It's a fire that consumes reason and leaves destruction in its wake. Sure, it feels powerful in the moment, but once the flames die down, you're often left with a mess to clean up. Damaged relationships, lost opportunities, or just plain regret. But here's the thing. Anger doesn't just happen to you. It's a choice. And like any choice, you can choose differently. When you feel anger bubbling up, take a breath. Step back and ask yourself, is this really worth it? Will my anger solve the problem or just make it worse? Anger is a response, not a solution. The Stoic way is to pause, reflect, and respond with calm and clarity. It's not about suppressing your emotions. It's about managing them in a way that serves you, not harms you. So next time you feel the heat rising, remember, anger is a brief madness. Don't let it control you. Number 9. You're only as rich as your mind. We live in a world where material wealth is often seen as the ultimate goal. The Stoics had a different take. They believed that true wealth comes from a rich mind, not a fat wallet. According to Epictetus, the person who is truly rich is the one who needs the least, not the one who has the most. Why? Because external wealth can be taken away at any moment. You could lose your job, your house, or your investments. But no one can take away your inner wealth, your knowledge, your wisdom, and your ability to stay calm and content, no matter what happens. This doesn't mean you shouldn't strive for success or financial security, but it does mean you shouldn't rely on those things for your happiness. When you build your sense of worth on material things, you're setting yourself up for a roller coaster of emotions. Elation when you gain, devastation when you lose. Instead, focus on cultivating a rich inner life. Learn new things, develop your character, and build meaningful relationships. These are the true sources of wealth that will carry you through life's ups and downs. And the best part? You can never run out of them. So, the next time you find yourself chasing material goals, remember, the richest person isn't the one who has the most, but the one who needs the least. Invest in yourself, your mind, character, and your wisdom, and you'll always be wealthy. Number 10. Be grateful for what you have. Gratitude is a superpower. It has the ability to transform your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from anxiety to contentment. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus encouraged us to be grateful for what we have rather than constantly longing for what we don't. Why? Because dissatisfaction stems from wanting more money, more success, more recognition. And while there's nothing wrong with ambition, it becomes a problem when it robs you of joy in the present moment. If you're always focused on what's missing, you'll never appreciate what's right in front of you. Gratitude shifts that focus. It reminds you of all the good things in your life that you might be taking for granted. Your health, your friendships, even the simple fact that you woke up today. When you practice gratitude, you stop comparing yourself to others and start feeling content with your own journey. This doesn't mean you should stop striving for improvement, but it does mean you can be happy with what you have while working toward what you want. Gratitude grounds you, keeps you connected to the present moment, which is the only moment you ever really have. So, take a minute each day to reflect on what you're grateful for. You'll be amazed at how much lighter and happier you feel. Stoics believed that a grateful heart is the foundation of a peaceful mind, and that's a principle worth practicing. Number 11. Life is short, live wisely. Time is the most valuable resource we have, and unlike money, once it's spent, can't get it back. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, wrote extensively about the shortness of life, reminding us that we often waste our precious time on trivial matters. According to him, most people live as though they have an infinite amount of time, but the truth is, none of us knows how much we really have. The Stoics urge us to live each day as if it were our last. Not in a reckless YOLO kind of way, but with intentionality and purpose. Are you spending your time on things that truly matter? Are you nurturing your relationships, growing as a person, and pursuing meaningful goals? Or are you letting distractions, negative habits, or other people's expectations eat away at your days? It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life, but Stoicism teaches us to regularly reflect on how we're using our time. A simple daily question like, did I make the most of today? Can help guide you toward a life that feels fulfilling rather than rushed. Living wisely doesn't mean doing everything perfectly. It just means making conscious choices about how you spend your time. So the next time you catch yourself wasting hours scrolling through your phone or getting lost in unimportant tasks, pause and remind yourself, life is short. Spend it wisely. Number 12. Practice self-discipline. Self-discipline is one of the cornerstones of Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, practiced self-control, not just in his public duties, but also in his private life. He believed that by mastering our impulses, we gain freedom from being controlled by our desires, emotions, and habit. In a world full of temptations and distractions, practicing self-discipline can feel like a superpower. It's about making choices that align with your long-term goals, rather than giving in to short-term pleasures. It could be something as simple as resisting the urge to hit the snooze button in the morning, or saying no to that extra slice of cake. But here's the thing. Self-discipline isn't about deprivation or punishment. It's about cultivating a sense of control over your actions and emotions so you're not constantly swayed by external circumstance. It's about choosing what's best for you, even when it's hard, because you know the rewards will be worth it. The Stoics saw self-discipline as a path to true freedom. When you can control your urges, you're not a slave to them. You become the master of your own mind and actions, which is the ultimate form of empowerment. So whether it's sticking to your workout routine, managing your temper, or staying focused on your goals, practicing self-discipline is a key to living a Stoic life. It's not about being perfect. It's about making consistent efforts to be better each day. Number 13. Embrace change. Don't fear it. Change is inevitable. Whether it's a new job, a relationship ending, or moving to a new city, life is constantly shifting. Yet so many of us resist change, clinging to what's familiar out of fear of the unknown. The Stoics, however, viewed change as a natural part of life, something to embrace rather than fear. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that nature itself is always in a state of change, from the seasons to the growth of plants and animals. Why then should we expect our own lives to remain static? Everything is in a constant state of flux, and fighting against that is like trying to stop the tide from coming in. By accepting change, you free yourself from the anxiety and resistance that often come with it. You learn to adapt, grow, and flow with life rather than against it. Sure, change can be uncomfortable, even scary at times, but it's also where growth happens. When you step outside your comfort zone, that's when you discover new opportunities, skills, and perspective. Stoicism teaches us that the only constant in life is change. So instead of fearing it, learn to welcome it as part of your journey. The more you practice embracing change, the easier it becomes to navigate life's twists and turns with grace and resilience. Number 14. Live with integrity. Integrity is about being true to your values, even when it's difficult. It's about doing the right thing, not because you'll be rewarded or praised, but because it aligns with your principles. For the Stoics, living with integrity was one of the highest forms of virtue. Marcus Aurelius and Seneca both stressed the importance of acting with honesty, fairness, and respect in all situations. It's easy to be tempted by shortcuts or to compromise your values for the sake of convenience or approval. But Stoicism teaches us that true success comes from maintaining your moral compass. no matter the external pressures. Living with integrity doesn't just benefit others, it also benefits you. When your actions align with your values, you experience a sense of inner peace and self-respect. You don't have to constantly second-guess yourself or worry about getting caught in lies or dishonesty. Integrity provides a strong foundation for living a life you can be proud of. So, whether it's at work, in your relationships, or in everyday decisions, strive to act with integrity. It's not always the easiest path, but it's the one that leads to a life of authenticity and fulfillment. Number 15. Practice patience. In a world where instant gratification is the norm, patience is a rare but powerful virtue. The Stoics knew that good things often take time, and that rushing through life only leads to frustration and disappointment. They believed in enduring difficulties with grace, understanding that some of life's most valuable lessons come from the waiting and the struggle. Epictetus taught that we cannot control the outcomes, but we can control how we respond to them. Sometimes life throws obstacles your way, and patience becomes your shield. It's easy to get frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as you'd like, whether it's waiting for a job promotion, personal goal, or even something as simple as standing in a long line. Stoicism reminds us that patience isn't passive. It's an active choice to stay calm, resilient, and focused, even when the world around you seems chaotic or slow-moving. When you practice patience, you create space for better decision-making, for thoughtfulness, and for appreciating the journey rather than just the destination. So the next time you're tempted to rush or feel impatience bubbling up, pause and remind yourself, life unfolds at its own pace. And sometimes the best things are worth waiting for. Number 16. Learn to let go of control. Stoicism is all about recognizing what you can control and what you can't. Spoiler alert, most things in life are beyond your control. Whether it's the weather, other people's actions, or random events, a lot of what happens around you is out of your hands. And yet, so much of our anxiety and stress comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it, that matters." This is at the heart of the Stoic approach to life. You can't control whether it rains on your wedding day, whether your boss is in a bad mood, or whether traffic will make you late. What you can control is your response, your attitude, actions, and your mindset. Learning to let go of control doesn't mean being passive or indifferent. It means focusing your energy on the things you can influence, like your thoughts, emotions, and decisions, rather than wasting it on things that are beyond your reach. This mindset shift is incredibly liberating. When you stop trying to control everything, you free yourself from a lot of unnecessary stress and disappointment. So embrace the unpredictability of life. Instead of fighting it, learn to adapt and go with the flow. It's not about giving up. It's about gaining peace of mind. Number 17. Gratitude for the present moment. It's easy to get caught up in the future or dwell on the past. But Stoicism teaches us the value of appreciating the here and now. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the fleeting nature of life and the importance of being present. When you focus too much on what's coming next or what's already gone, you miss out on the beauty and opportunities of the present moment. Gratitude is a powerful practice in Stoicism. By regularly reminding yourself of what you already have, whether it's good health, supportive friends, or simply the ability to enjoy a sunny day, you shift your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. This simple mindset shift can have a profound effect on your happiness and well-being. Life is happening right now, in this moment, not in some distant future, where all your dreams have come true. The Stoics urge us to appreciate the present for what it is, imperfections and all. Practicing gratitude helps ground you, keeping you from constantly chasing after the next thing while ignoring the richness of your current experience. So, take a moment today to be grateful. Whether it's for the people in your life, the opportunities in front of you, or even the challenges that are helping you grow, find something to appreciate in the now. Number 18. Develop emotional resilience. Emotions are powerful, and while Stoicism doesn't suggest we suppress them, it does teach us to manage them wisely. Emotional resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity without letting your emotions control you. The Stoics believed that true strength lies not in avoiding hardship, but in how you respond to it. Seneca taught that life is full of unexpected challenges, but getting angry, sad, or overwhelmed by them doesn't change anything. It's okay to feel emotions, but it's essential not to let them dictate your actions. Emotional resilience means staying calm in the storm, thinking clearly, even when everything around you feels chaotic. Building emotional resilience isn't about shutting down or ignoring your feelings. It's about acknowledging them, understanding them, and then choosing how to respond in a way that aligns with your values. The Stoics practiced techniques like journaling and self-reflection to better understand their emotional triggers and responses, which help them navigate tough situations with grace. So when life throws you a curveball, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what's the best response here? How can I stay aligned with my values and maintain my peace of mind, no matter the circumstance? Number 19. Seek purpose over pleasure. Many people chase pleasure as the ultimate goal in life, but the Stoics saw things differently. They believed that a life of meaning and purpose brings far more satisfaction than one focused solely on temporary pleasures. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the idea that we are here for a reason, and it's our duty to fulfill our potential. Purpose doesn't mean you need to become a world-famous artist or invent the next big thing. It's about finding meaning in what you do, whether that's being a good parent, helping others, or pursuing personal growth. Pleasure fades, but purpose sustains you through both the good times and the bad. The Stoics taught that the pursuit of pleasure often leads to disappointment. Why? Because pleasure is fleeting. You get the thing you've been wanting, whether it's a fancy new gadget, a night out, or even a big achievement. And then what? You're left wanting the next thing. But when you seek purpose, find fulfillment in the process, not just the outcome. It's a deeper, more lasting kind of happiness. Purpose gives you a sense of direction, a reason to get out of bed in the morning, and a way to contribute to something bigger than yourself. So, instead of asking, what will make me happy right now, try asking, what's my purpose, and how can I live it today? Number 20. Be kind. Always kindness is often underrated, but for the Stoics, it was a key virtue. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about the importance of treating others with kindness, even when they don't necessarily deserve it. Why? Because kindness isn't just about the other person, it's about who you choose to be. Being kind doesn't mean being a pushover or letting people walk all over you. It means recognizing the humanity in others, even when they're difficult or frustrating. It means choosing compassion over anger, understanding over judgment. The Stoics believed that everyone is doing the best they can with the knowledge and resources they have at the time. By practicing kindness, you not only make the world a better place, but you also cultivate inner peace. Anger, resentment, and grudges weigh you down. Kindness lifts you up. So, whether it's a small gesture like holding the door for someone, or a bigger act like forgiving someone who hurt you, choose kindness. It's a Stoic superpower that benefits everyone involved. If you enjoyed this video, drop a Stoic mindset in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more. See you next time.